Good morning and welcome to the 2023 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series Media Day as we prepare for Washington's 60th Pony League World Series. It's great to have all of you here this morning. My name is Bob Gregg. For a couple of years, I served as World Series Chairman and President of our local organizing committee, World Series Tournaments Incorporated. And Nathan Wojtek has taken on that role, but unable to be with us today. I do serve on the board of directors, and it's my pleasure to be your host this morning. I bring you greetings from Pony Baseball and Softball. We're here at their international headquarters and Hall of Fame. Abe Key, the president of Pony Baseball, is at one of the other Pony Age Group World Series events, and will be, I believe, at two more of those before he gets home in time for next week's Pony World Series. Do want to reference and say thank you to the headquarters staff, Karen Reese, the director of softball, Brent Libertor, the director of information technology, Sarah Fritz, the multimedia manager, and Kim Lemons, the office secretary. Pony Baseball and Softball hosts national and international championships and World Series in both sports in various age groups, starting very young. And every time I see a new age bracket listed on there, I'm thinking, man, oh, day, those kids traveling all over the place. We were lucky to get to go to Cannonsburg when I was a kid from Washington for a baseball tournament. But great opportunities and an opportunity for kids to play this great game of diamond sports. Pony Baseball was founded here in Washington, Pennsylvania in 1951. The first World Series held a year later. But because the world's first pony baseball field wasn't ready yet, that first World Series was played at Washington High School. What is now their football practice field adjacent to the stadium was Washington High School's baseball field, and that hosted the 1952 World Series. And today, nearly 500,000 players compete under the Pony banner. I do want to touch on an item that I wrote about in our upcoming program magazine, and that is the caliber of play that we'll see on Lou Hayes Pony Field starting next Friday. If our recent 25-year history is any indication, good news, because you're going to see some future MLB players. Currently, the manager of the Chicago White Sox, Pedro Grifol, played on the 1984 Miami team, played with a couple of guys you may recognize, Alex Fernandez and Jorge Fabregas. That team, by the way, did not win the 84 Pony League World Series. They had three future major leaguers on that squad and didn't win the title. That'll give you a little picture of the caliber of play. There are 5 players currently on active major league rosters who played in the Pony League World Series here in Washington. Travis d'Arnaud played for Hartwell in 2003. He's currently with the Atlanta Braves. Christian Yelich was a member of the 2006 Simi Valley runner-up team. He is a former National League Most Valuable Player and is the leadoff hitter and left fielder for the Milwaukee Brewers. Yu Chang. Pirates fans, we got a brief look at Yu Chang when he was here in Pittsburgh. He played for the 2009 champion Chinese Taipei squad and is currently in his second year with the Boston Red Sox. Just called up this year to the Milwaukee Brewers in mid-April, Blake Perkins, a member of the 2011 Long Beach runner-up squad, and the starting corner infielder for the Cincinnati Reds, Spencer Steer, was a member of the Long Beach squad in 2012 that won the Pony League World Series. 4 other players have been on Major League active rosters this year and are currently either in AAA or on injured list. Alex Claudio played for Caguas in 2006. He's at AAA Nashville. Chase DeYoung has spent a couple of years in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. He was the winning pitcher in the 2008 World Series championship game. He is currently at AAA Indianapolis. Elliot Ramos, 2014 Levittown, Puerto Rico semifinal team and was our batting champion that year. He's currently, after a stay on the 60-day injured list, at AAA Sacramento, the San Francisco Giants AAA affiliate. And just on to the Major League 10-day injury list, Jose Miranda, who played for Bayamón, Puerto Rico. They reached the semifinals in 2013. So the caliber of play here at Lou Hayes Pony Field and the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series is certainly outstanding. I want to say thank you to a partner that has really meant a lot foundationally since 2015. Dick's Sporting Goods, an international sports retailer, brought many things, providing financial, logistical, marketing, and relationship support to the Pony League World Series, so much so that starting in 2015, our event became known as the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. We could not do the kind of things that you're going to hear about today and see August 11th through the 16th without the support of Dick's Sporting Goods, and we certainly appreciate their ongoing partnership. 11 years ago, the 50th Pony League World Series in Washington, we hit a perfect storm, and not in a good way. We had a number of struggles. Malaise had kind of settled in locally. We had a really bad weather week, plus we had a team that left early because they didn't expect to be in the winner's bracket and made other commitments, and created quite a headache for a lot of us, to the point where we really questioned whether we could or should continue to host the World Series here in Washington. Our first discussion after that year and our wrap-up board meeting was with Jeff Catula in the Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency. The decision was quickly communicated to us that we could and we should and will help you keep the Pony League World Series in Washington. Let's figure out how to do things differently that will improve it. And a foundational partner, a bedrock foundational partner to the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series starting in 2013. Please welcome here to the podium Jeff Catula of the Washington County Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Promotion Agency.
Thank you, Bob, for that very kind but overly generous introduction. And what I mean by that is that pony baseball in Washington County is a community effort where we all come together to support this wonderful event for not only the county, not only for the kids, but for this region as we move forward with our growth and economic development and tourism development. You know, Washington County has a very strong history of baseball. Everything, of course, from our youth and high school leagues to even we had, I believe, 2 semi-professional teams, the Washington Redbirds and Washington Generals, in the middle of the past century. And of course, we have the Washington Wild Things, our professional team here as well. But none has been as important as pony baseball to this region. And it takes all of us in Washington County to make this happen. It takes the great work of all of our partners to move this great thing forward because it attracts people to our county and also tourists. This is one of the only large events in our county that attracts an international market. People from all over the world come to this world-class county to see a world-class event. We're very, very proud of that here in the county as well. And make no mistake, tourism is also a business in the county. It's an over $500 million a year business, a $500 million business in Washington County, employing over 6,000 people. And this event helps to not only supplement their incomes, but of course to make it a great quality of life here. And leading those efforts in Washington County are our Washington County Commissioners. We have our chair, Diana Avery Vaughn, here with us today, and Larry Maggi with the commission as well. And I'd like to offer Larry a few moments to come up and say a few words. Commissioner Maggi. I'll clap for you, Larry.
I'll take Jeff's line. Thank you for that lukewarm acknowledgement there. But on behalf of the Washington County Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Ari Vaughn, our chair, is here also. This is a very important part of Washington County. It's an important part for southwestern Pennsylvania because we, as said before, We bring people here from all over the world. They stay in the hotels. They eat in our restaurants. And they see some of the treasures that we have in the county. And we're excited about that. We get to showcase what we live, work at, play at every day. So we're excited about that. This has been a big part. I'm a lifelong resident of Washington County. I actually didn't play in the All-Star team, but I actually played pony baseball here and was part of this excitement. And I can just see it in the community. It culminates every year at this time for our youth and for our community. So we welcome Pony World Series here. We want to continue to grow it because it's very important. As was said earlier, tourism is a big part of Washington County. Not only do we have the World Series, we've got some great places to visit, play at, and to eat at. So we welcome the world here this week, and we wish the best of luck for the series. Thank you.
And just to reiterate Commissioner Maggie's remarks, it is a community event, something we're very proud of. And Bob, I remember that meeting in 2013. Let's try forget about that. We've come a long way, and we're looking forward to a great week of baseball in Washington County. Bob, thanks again, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, I remember that meeting as well, and we followed that up with a question to the general public. Our board, we're in the middle of the struggle, and we cared about the World Series. Our question to the general public was, does the Pony League World Series matter to you? And we talked about the fabric of our community, about how we grew up with this event, how we enjoyed our summers going to Pony Field. And we said, if it matters, we need you to do at least one of these next three things. Donate, volunteer, or at least show up at the event. And since then, our community has done indeed all three of those in a tremendous way. Which leads me to our next segment. I want to talk about the sponsorship support. With people and money, we can do just about anything. We have over 400 different individuals who volunteer during the World Series each year. 400 people have given of their time. Some of it for 2 games, some of it for 30 plus years have come together to make sure the World Series happens. But volunteers can't do everything. Money has to be available. Today, we're pleased to announce in partnership with CNX Resources, the CNX Foundation Dreamfields Grant Program has agreed to partner with us on a 3-year, $150,000 presenting sponsorship of the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. The foundation supports 8 key pillars in life in Appalachia, including children's health and wellness. The Dreamfields Grant Program helps communities provide clean, safe, well-maintained fields that leads to improved player experience and keeping kids playing the games that they love together. We certainly appreciate CNX Foundation and CNX Resources for their partnership. For more info or to apply for the Dreamfields grants, you can visit cnx.com/dreamfields. We're pleased to also announce renewal of sponsorships for the Observer Reporter as our presenting sponsor. The Observer Reporter Conference Room is literally the birthplace of pony baseball and softball. The organization's early meetings were held in that conference room in 1951 that grew out of the desire of 13-year-olds or 12-year-olds, to have some organized baseball to play the next couple of years before they were old enough to play Legion baseball. Community leaders headed up by Lou Hayes, then sports editor of the Washington newspaper, said, give us a little time, we'll figure this out. They met, they decided they were going to offer a league after Little League, after the 11 and 12-year-old organized game for 13 and 14-year-olds. That was the beginning, then known as Protect Our Neighborhood Youth. Quickly, organizations were formed in Youngstown, in Texas, in Cannonsburg, and Protect Our Neighborhood Youth morphed quickly to Protect Our Nation's Youth and the game has since gone international. But all of that started in the conference room of the Observer Reporter, and we certainly appreciate their ongoing support of this great event. Penn West, California, sponsoring our Fan Fest Thursday night at Dick's Sporting Goods, where all of the teams who are in town at that point will join us. The Pittsburgh Pirates join us there as well, and we appreciate Penn West, California, and all they do. Allegheny Health Network, Sports Medicine, they'll be providing athletic trainers and also marketing support through their various social media outlets and funding. Abarta Coca-Cola and Cohen Markets, our now several-year video board in left field. Yes, indeed, we have a Jumbotron at Lou Hayes Pony Field, and that's thanks to Abarta Coca-Cola and Cohen Markets. We have night sponsors, people that take a night, distribute tickets for their night to the community, to their partners, to their employees, and come out and have a great time together. Pathways of Southwestern Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Washington Auto Mall, HotelPlanner.com, and Washington Financial Bank. People that make our special events possible. Chapman Corporation sponsors Ponies Champions League game on Saturday morning, a game for special needs kids. They get to play on the World Series field. All 10 of our World Series teams participate but don't play. They get their eyes open about the blessings that they enjoy and the joy of the game like you can't imagine, played by kids with the varying disabilities from mental challenges to wheelchair-bound players who get to enjoy the game of baseball on Lou Hayes Pony Field. If you don't see anything else at this year's World Series, be at the field Saturday at 9:30 for the Champions League game presented by Chapman Corporation. The City of Washington, Giant Eagle and Walmart, our World Series Breakfast of Champions on Sunday. Our marketing partners from Duncan and Cricket Wireless. We have signs, we have program ads, we have video board sponsors, and our booster clubs. Those sponsorship range anywhere from $25 to $5,000, and every single one of them makes a difference in us hosting the World Series. People here in Washington can enjoy the games in person, and for the last 8 years, people around the world can enjoy the game live as it happens because of our video presentation and our multimedia platform that makes that all possible. I want to go back to the beginning of the World Series once again to talk about our multi-platform media partnerships. First of all, the Observer Reporter will cover the World Series daily in print, online, and via their social media. WJPA Radio has carried nearly every World Series game ever played in Washington, and will carry every game again this year. The radio voice of the World Series, Mark Uriah, will call the action along with longtime voice of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Lanny Fratteri, and the World Series broadcast veteran, Randy Gore, will handle the radio. WVRC Media, formerly Pikewood Sports, for the 8th consecutive year will produce every game online. Their Emmy award-winning video production will be available on plws.tv in partnership with the Trib High School Sports Network. AT&T Sportsnet let's try that again. AT&T Sportsnet Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh CW will carry as many as 7 games live this year. 7 games total. 6 of them are scheduled to be live broadcast. Of course, weather, we have to at least acknowledge that weather can happen with the fair and Pony League going on at the same time. That seems to make us a nice weather target occasionally, but we're hoping to move swiftly through. 7 games total, 6 of them live. Saturday's first 2 games, noon and 2:30. Sunday's last 2 games, 3:30 and 6:30. The 2 division finals on Tuesday at 4:30 and 7, and Wednesday's World Series championship game. Lanny Fratteri and Ernie Galuski will handle the call, and Joe Barcato will handle pregame and postgame interviews and highlights as we move through. Of course, Game Changer live scoring and our World Series social media sites will be up and running as well. Let's talk about who's in and who's still alive in our 10-team field. The European zone won by Paderborn, Germany. They went unbeaten in their late April zone tournament with wins over Israel, the Netherlands, Lithuania, London, Spain, and Italy. Paderborn's last appearance in the World Series was in 2016, went 1-2 that year. Mexico will be represented for the second year in a row and fourth time ever by Monterrey. Finished second a year ago in their first appearance since the 1970s. Went 7-0 in their late May qualifier, allowed just 1 run per game, and won, as I said, the 1972 World Series. They were led by future Major League 13-year veteran Alex Trevino. They have recognized that name. He's still in the game today, handling Spanish language broadcasts for the Houston Astros. The Asia Pacific Zone champion is Edogawa, Japan. The 7th all-time berth for Japan in the World Series, their first since winning the 2013 title. That Okinawa championship is the only Pony League World Series title for Japan. Caribbean, first-timer, Managua, Nicaragua. They won the Caribbean Zone in late June. The Caribbean Zone owns 7 Pony League World Series titles, all of them by teams from Puerto Rico. The last was in 2007, won by Trujillo Alto. This past weekend, the host area championship went to Youngstown, Ohio. They went unbeaten in the 12-team tournament this weekend, hosted by Mount Lebanon. It's their 5th appearance in the World Series in the past 6 tournaments, 7 years, obviously, with the 2020 being shut down. The host area is open to pony programs within a 90-mile radius of Washington, exclusive of the Founders League programs here in Washington County. The host team is Washington County, Pennsylvania. Teams from the Founders League include Washington, Hannah McMillan. They joined forces in 2015. Chartiers Houston came on board 2 years ago. Fort Cherry and Burgettstown last year. Efforts continue locally and at the pony region level to include all Washington County programs in that Founders League team. Here are your U.S. Zone qualifiers. Here are your U.S. Zone qualifiers. The South Zone was won by Palmview, Texas for the second straight year, a 1-2 stay in 2022. They won Pony's largest zone tournament. 16 teams gathered in Youngville, Louisiana to play their tournament, double elimination, 2 divisions, single championship game in 5 days. And Palmview came out as the champion. Their next door neighbor, Brownsville, Texas, won the 2021 title. The manager of that Brownsville team, Ruben Lopez, is the manager of this year's Palmview squad. For you veterans, this will be a surprise. The North Zone champion is Bay County, Michigan. It's their 11th consecutive World Series berth. 14th time in the last 17 years. Bay County reached the 2019 finals, losing to Chinese Taipei 9-1. Bay County first went to the World Series in 1983. That year should stand out also to you World Series veterans. That's the last year the Pony League World Series was not played in Washington, Pennsylvania. It was in Kennewick, Washington. 2 teams remain on the docket to be filled. They are the East Zone. That will be played in High Point, North Carolina. Action starts today in a 6-team double elimination bracket. That will end on Saturday, weather permitting. And the West Zone will be played in West Covina, California. The 3-time World Series champion program hosts what will be an 8-team field. There are, I believe, 2 super regionals still not finalized. I do know Hawaii, Utah, and a team from the Oregon are in already. There are 2 host area teams in that bracket as well. and a couple of teams yet to be determined in Southern California. And that will wrap up on Sunday. So the West Zone will be our last team to qualify. That will send our printing folks for the program scrambling to assemble that 120-page document in about 3.5 days after we get rosters, team photo, names, check all the spelling and all those. So they'll be busy. If you're down around Morgantown and you see printer or hear printers humming and buzzing all night long, it'll be because of the West Zone finishing on Sunday night. Before we move ahead to events, I want to go back in our program for just a moment and invite Cody from CNX to join me here. This partnership is really spectacular, and it is a huge gift to the Pony League World Series, and it's just a piece of what you all are doing to make life better throughout Appalachia. Cody, if you would join us here at the podium, I appreciate that. I apologize, I didn't realize you were a couple minutes to thank you.
Good morning, afternoon. Oh, it is afternoon. Thank you. My name's Cody Craker. I'm the Vice President of Operations and Construction for also part of the CNX Foundation. On behalf of the foundation and CNX, really excited for this partnership with the Pony League organization. And what I wanted to start out with today is the Dream Fields. Spoke a little bit about that this morning. The Dream Fields is an avenue for the foundation, to really make sure that we can maintain and enhance youth playing surfaces across the region. And what that means to me, it is the most important because I was involved in youth sports growing up as a child. I help coach sports today. I wouldn't be standing here today without playing youth sports. A couple reasons I say that is, having to be part of a team, become a leader, develop critical thinking out on a ball field. Those are life lessons that stick with you. And there's a lot of folks that are part of the foundation that understand that too. So with that, the Dream Fields concept is our avenue to protect that in the region and make sure we give opportunities to children today. Our website is cnx.com/dreamfields. You can apply for grants out of the grant-based program. We're really excited about this. We really hope that people really take advantage of this. One of our pillars in the foundation is health and wellness for children in the region. This aligns very well with the foundation and what the Pony League is about. Appalachia First is one of our core values within the foundation. So being able to integrate ourselves in communities, maintaining these playing surfaces for is the way we can support our community. My last closing remark, I think we all need to acknowledge the mothers and fathers out there that are behind the scenes, helping out in youth sports, grandparents, and they make it a labor of love so the kids can get out and play and grow both mentally and physically. So I thank all of those folks out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Like Commissioner Maggi mentioned, I never made an all-star team. I regularly talk with our World Series managers and remind them that this event isn't about them. Don't be the center spotlight. It's not you. It's not even for me really about their team. I think about the kids that were one pitch or one play short of that goal getting to come to Washington. Or the kids that were 2 tournaments short and they just didn't have as talented a team. Or the kid like me that just loved to play the game and never quite played it well enough to even make a local, a regional all-star team. That's what this event's about. And as Cody said, to give kids the opportunity to get out, get on the field, get off their iPads and those kind of things, and actually play a game, not thumb a game. There's a huge difference. And it's so really important. And your support and what that will mean to our facility and to the Pony League World Series, we'll see the fruits of that for years to come. So thank you. Quick run through our daily events that we have coming up, and then we'll all be available for questions. We start Thursday with the Penn West California Fan Fest. That starts at 5:30 at Dick's Sporting Goods Washington location on Washington Road. Friday at the ball field, we begin at 11 o'clock with the Home Run Derby and Fastest Runner Contest. And then the teams will head up over the hill to the Kiwanis Pavilion, the Washington area service clubs, Kiwanis, Rotary, and Lions Club hosting them for lunch. Back to the ball field at 4:30. Game 1 has Bay County, Michigan, and Palmview, Texas. We'll have opening ceremonies between games and then finish the doubleheader with the West Zone winner against Youngstown. Saturday at 9:30, I mentioned the Pony League Champions game. That is sponsored by Chapman Corporation. It's Mascot Day at the ballpark. Starting at 12 noon, we have 3 games on Saturday. Sunday begins at 9 a.m. at the Doubletree in Meadowlands. That is our World Series Breakfast of Champion, annually a sold-out event highlighted by the 10 managers each sharing a brief picture of how their team qualified to come to the World Series. That's sponsored by Walmart, the City of Washington, and by Giant Eagle. And then at 1 o'clock, we're back at the ball field for 3 games, starting at 1, and that is Military and First Responders Appreciation Day at the ballpark. Monday and Tuesday, we start at 10 a.m. with elimination games. That is free admission for those daytime early sessions, 10 and 12:30, both Monday and Tuesday. Then we come to Monday night. That's Pathways Youth Night, free admission for kids 14 and under wearing their team uniform or T-shirt. And then we have 2 winners bracket games Monday night at the ballpark starting at 4:30. Tuesday, again, the elimination game starting at 10, free admission. And Tuesday night is Pirates Night at the ballpark and includes our division finals. If we need those, if necessary games, those would happen Wednesday daytime, 10 and or 12:30. And again, free admission for those. And then we all get together. The gates open at 6, and championship game on-field activities get started right around 7 o'clock in a single game, winner-take-all, 71st Pony Baseball 14 and under World Championship game. We hope to see all of you there. And at this point, we'll be open for questions. Interview. When you're done with that, lunch. Thank you to Chick-fil-A.